Hey, how you doing? My name is Will. I'm the Productions Director at Enviyon Entertainment, and today we're going to go over a couple studio tips and tricks that you artists want to make sure you're doing when you're in the studio. So let's go ahead and get started. Before you come in the studio, one of the most important things that you want to make sure that you have down as an artist is you know your song. You know all the parts, you know how the hook is going to be laid down, or the chorus you might want to call it, however you want to lay that out in a song. One of the things that I've seen in my experience is some artists don't actually know the song. They may come in with a piece of paper that they've written a song, and then they get in the booth and they realize, oh, I didn't write this correctly, or I got to redo this part over and over. To save you time, save you money, make sure you know the song, and preferably I would say know it by heart, because you can typically hear when a person is reading a song off a piece of paper because it comes out in the music. Or let's say you didn't write the whole song and now maybe just the last 4 bars you need to freestyle it or something. But the only problem with that is if you need to do an over or you need to ad-lib that, now you can't go back into it and do it the exact same way that you did it. So you want to make sure that you know the song, you know it by heart. If you do want to bring a piece of paper to look at while you're recording, that's fine, as long as you still know that song by heart. If you want to use a phone, that's also fine. But again, it helps to know it by heart because it gives the song a little bit more feeling. The next thing I want to talk about is make sure that the other people on a song know the song as well as you do, as well as they have the same feeling about the song. One of the things I've seen is some people get on and they're really energetic and they want to really express themselves, and it comes out in the recording. And then that next person may get on and they don't have as much energy and as much feeling. So make sure that when you guys recite the song, that you recite it as if you're in the studio, so that one person can critique the other, because by the time you get in the studio, it's too late to pull your buddy to the side, or you guys go and have a quick meeting and say, hey man, I need you to pump it up, or give it a little bit more feeling. So it always helps if everybody's on the same page. The next thing I want to talk about is being prompt and make sure that you're on time when it comes to the studio session, because a lot of engineers and people who have studios typically have other people that want to come in. So if you come a half hour late, it's a good chance that you just cut down on a half hour time because maybe another session was going to start at another time and you only maybe slotted an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, let's say. Now you just cut yourself down to those 2.5 hours because there's another session. So you want to make sure you're on time and you're prompt, because that will typically show that engineer that you're recording with that you're serious, and that'll make them be more serious about you and take you a little bit more serious. And all that helps is everybody being on the same page. And the last thing I want to talk about as far as before you come into the studio is bring only the people that are actually recording on the song. There's some people that say, you know, I'm going to bring my buddies with me because they amp me up and they get me fired up. But sometimes what can happen is they can typically make gestures or things like that while you're performing a song, or maybe the artists don't want to get as much into the song because maybe their friends are maybe laughing or saying a joke or something like that. You don't want anybody else to tempt you to do a song a different way than you actually want to do it. And also for the engineer, if the engineer is sitting out in the control room and he's trying to listen to any mistakes or anything that you're doing in a song, they don't need someone else there talking or making any noises while you're recording and using your time and money to get your production going. So just make sure that you want to go by those rules before you come into the studio.